Hi there, Clint Adams here, President of your association, the Master Landscapers of South Australia. And I would just like to start by wishing you all a Happy New Year. Obviously, this is the first time you've heard from me in 2025, and we've recently just met as a board for our first board meeting of the year. And so I just wanted to update you on a bunch of things that are happening this year and some very exciting announcements. So obviously, last year, 2024, the shining light for us was the achievement of getting the recognition of landscaping as a trade and moving that from a traineeship to an apprenticeship, which took a lot of time and, in my mind, probably put us in a position where we took our eyes off of some of the other focuses. And so this year, it's very important to me and the board that we knuckle down and continue to work towards a bunch of other things that we've been talking about for a few years. So the first and probably most important thing that I want to share with you is that for the past 3 months, myself and Martin Elton, our vice president, have been working towards recruiting and hiring a new CEO. And we can now share with you that Chris Wiltshire, who is currently with the HIA as an assistant director, will be joining the Master Landscapers as CEO on the 17th of February. Now, Chris is, in my mind, perfect for this job as it stands today. Over the years, we've had CEOs with varied skill sets, some focused around marketing and business development, some focused around events and marketing. Chris comes from a background where he's been heavily connected to governance and education and relationships with local government and councils. So Chris is actually was a building surveyor at one point. He's worked with local council. He's worked with the Master Builders of South Australia. And obviously, as I mentioned, he's now with the HIA. I'm really looking forward to getting Chris on board. Chris's main focus to start with will be reconnecting with members and partners. It's something that the board have identified that we've probably lacked in the last couple of years as we've been focusing on other things. And so he will be alongside me and other board members coming out and shaking hands and introducing himself to former members, current members, former partners, current partners, and just trying to get an understanding of what's important to you, the membership, the landscapers, landscape maintenance professionals, and landscape designers, and hopefully take that information and forge a very strong path forward to making it an even stronger association as we focus on improving the reputation of the industry across all areas, as well as the licensing, I don't know the best way to put it, the way licensing is managed so that it is not difficult, but it's also not too easy, and that the people that should have licenses do have licenses, and the pathway is clear and easy. Now, the second thing that I am now excited to be able to announce is that we have locked in a venue and a date for the annual awards. So this year we have moved the awards to Adelaide Oval. We'll be holding them on November 15th. And we are actively working with a subcommittee of former judges, former award winners and board members to build out the dates that judging will be done, the dates that entries will open, the dates that entries will close, as well as a bit more of a clearer understanding of the way that the awards will be judged. We've talked about this for a couple of years, and it's been on my mind that the awards could be elevated slightly when it comes to the public perception and the transparency of how they're managed. And so we had a board meeting on Wednesday just gone. We had a follow-up meeting after the board meeting with some former award winners and former judges, along with some board members, to discuss what works, what doesn't work, and what we should look at changing and what we could look at adding. And so the first priority was to lock that date down. So the 15th of November is locked at the Ian McLachlan Room at Adelaide Oval. And then we're working backwards from there so that the gardens are judged at the right time. It's important to a lot of our members that the gardens are judged far enough into the season that they are flowering and growing appropriately. We acknowledge that. We've tried to keep the date as far away from other things as possible. Last year we had a conflict with the V8 supercars. This year we won't, from what I can tell, have any conflicts that are going to impact that. So put that in your diaries. Make sure that you're thinking about entering the awards. I can guarantee you this will be the biggest awards we've had. We're looking at a bigger room, more people, more entries, and hopefully, if we can wrangle it, some benefits outside of just winning the awards that might be able to shine the light on your business if you do win an award. So the third and final thing that I want to talk about is the board itself and our priorities for 2025. So at the start of each year, or the years that I've been president, I've sat down in the first board meeting and asked each board member what's important to them and what would they like to spend their time working on for the calendar year to ensure that the association keeps moving forward. And it was really exciting for me to see that the diversity of the board that we have enabled us to have about 6 different projects that were important to 1 or 2 people on the board that they could spearhead around improving our systems, the awards, events, relationships with our members, relationships with government, relationships with our partners. And so we've set some goals this year around what we want to do. We are very conscious not to over promise and under deliver around those goals. And I'm looking forward to sharing the next stages with you as I can. You'll hear from us more once Chris starts. I'll get his LinkedIn profile linked up underneath the video or somewhere in the copy of this post so that you can go investigate his background yourself. He has a ridiculously long list of achievements. And as I said at the start, I'm excited to see him in action working with the MLSA. Around the awards, we'll roll out all those dates once we can. And then obviously all of the priorities for 2025. So I'm looking forward to getting out and seeing a lot more of you this year than I have in the previous years. I think we've probably been busy doing things that we knew had to be done rather than spending too much time with members. And I know that sometimes that's hard for members and partners. You want to see the people that represent your association, but there are times where we just have to knuckle down and get things done. And obviously the success of the recent change as supported by our state government is a massive one. So thank you. I'm looking forward to a very, very successful 2025. If you have anything that you're thinking maybe needs attention or that might need changing or that you're concerned about, please feel free to reach out to any of the board members, including myself. Other than that, have a very successful 2025 and I'll see you real soon.